Good morning, class, and welcome back to Pogonomics 101, where we learn basic shit about... Wait, one second. Hello?
Sir, this episode's not going to be about economics.
It's not? Well, guess what?
What is it, sir?
I don't give a shit!
This is my fucking show! And today, we're going to be learning about something that's super important. And what is that thing, you might ask? It is called consent. Now, I think we all know what consent is. We're all above the age of 18. We all have basic, common fucking sense. But just in case you're a conservative or you're 5 years old, here's what the definition of consent is. As a noun, consent is the permission for something to happen or agreement to do something, and as a verb, it is giving permission for something to happen. This is a very simple concept to grasp. Consent is giving your permission to do something, right? Everybody should be able to understand that. But apparently, conservatives do not understand what consent is. And we're going to be going over one of them today. His name is Lauren Fox, and he could go suck some big fat cocks. Now this absolute specimen of a human being went on to a podcast called Trigonometry, who's totally not right-wing and totally won't take offense if you call them right-wing. Even though you two dumb fucks are called trigonometry, which is usually a word used by right-wingers to talk down to left-wingers. You triggered fucking muppets. But I digress, this is about Lawrence, not trigonometry. Let's just jump right into the video and get on learning.
I started to notice weird things happening with my kids. So the first one was my eldest son. A few years ago, I said, give me a kiss goodnight, or a hug goodnight, whatever. And he went, no, you need to ask my consent.
I know we're not even a few seconds into the video, but I've got to ask, what the fuck was with that eye twitch? It's almost as if this guy has some sort of visceral disgust for whenever he hears the word consent.
My name is
Consent.
That is just so fucking weird, but let's keep going.
And I was like, do I?
If you are going to be touching your kid in such a way that could be interpreted as possibly sexual or uncomfortable, yes, you do need their consent, Lawrence.
And he said, yeah, at school they say you've got to ask consent. And I said, I'm your dad.
I don't think I even need to say anything here.
And he said, yeah, but you still have to ask consent.
True!
And I went, okay, we're going to have a little lesson on consent here. Consent is don't touch a stranger's private parts.
Let us fact check that real quick. Hey Suri, what is the definition of consent?
As a noun, consent means permission for something to happen or agreement to do something. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
No, thank you.
All right? That's consent. Don't touch, invade someone's space in that part. I'm your father.
Let me actually bring up some statistics to further hone the point that this is literal rape apologia, or rape logic. 93% of child sexual abuse cases that are reported to law enforcement are known to the victim. 59% are acquaintances, 34% are family members. The concept of
I don't need your consent because I'm your dad or your mom or whatever.
is rape logic. This is what they do to be able to get away with sexual abuse on children. They will tell the child, you can trust me, this is okay because I'm your fucking parent.
So anyway, I wrote to school and I said, what's going on here? Because he's obviously not understood consent.
Oh my gosh, this is getting so tiresome. We all know what consent is, let's move on.
And they said, well, we don't really get to the sexual part of it until later. And I said, well, you can take it from me. I've just taught both of my children consent, lesson 1, in about 5 minutes.
Consent is, when a stranger isn't allowed to touch your private parts. But it's totally okay for your dad to do it because he's not a stranger. You could trust him.
Whether or not you're their parent doesn't matter. That kid has feelings. That kid can feel uncomfortable, and they can feel uncomfortable around you too. Furthermore, consent is not exclusively sexual because you need consent to do a lot of things in life. You need consent to be able to enter somebody's room. You need consent to be able to get in somebody's car. You need consent for a lot of things because consent is when you get permission to be able to do something. This concept is not exclusive to sexual conduct, and it is certainly not exclusive to strangers only. It applies to everybody.
And then, I started going, okay, well, where is this stuff coming from? So it comes out of relationship sex education classes and PSHE and stuff like that. So I got some lesson plans from another school and found out what was on it, which is privilege, skin colour privilege, gender ideology, diversity, equity and inclusion, all of the things that you just don't want kids being taught at a young age when they're confused as it is.
So basically, you don't want the schools to teach your children to be basic, decent human beings. You want your kid to be an empty slate so you can imprint your own crappy, bigoted ideology onto them. The ideology which is straight up copying the Nazis and banning books that they don't like, and whose end goal is essentially to impose the death penalty for being gay.
And so I thought we got to change that. So we're going to do that as well. That's what which is our next sort of cultural project, which is going to be called Bad Education. We just like to put bad in front of everything.
Yeah, probably also because you're a bad parent. Anyways, there is one more thing I want to go over that I found on his Twitter page shortly after I saw this clip. This is what I found.
People don't hate you as a person, they hate what you do, which is to groom children to separate from their parents and hand that trust over to you instead. It's a completely natural reaction to deviant behavior. Leave the kids alone, Jeff.
Of course, this is Rich coming from the guy who's teaching his children that it's okay for him to do whatever he wants to his kids because consent is only for strangers who want to touch your pee-pee or vajayjay. There is not much more I could say besides this dude is extremely weird and should probably have his computer checked up by the proper authorities. Remember folks, every accusation from conservatives is a confession. I won't be surprised if I see something spicy leaking about this guy very soon. Anyways, that's it. Have a good day.
Everything